Warning, this is a review of Ben 10 Omniverse, the video game. No clips, audio, or scenes from the show or game were used in the purpose of this review. It's hero time. Ha ha. Welcome back to Kadic, and now it's time for something completely different. And what I mean by that is a kind of twofer of sorts. A review of a game based on a TV show. Now, I know, video games based on TV shows and movies have a long-standing reputation of, well, being underwhelming. God knows you've seen the shelves in recent years loaded with bad movie tie-in games and even worse TV cash-ins. Heck, even my beloved Code Lyoko cannot resist the temptation of sucky TV-based movie gamedom. But every now and again, there seems to be a shining light, a glimmer of hope that maybe a studio or two actually knows what the heck they're doing and releasing a good video game that not only pays homage to the license, but is a good, fundamentally unbroken video game. Why do I bring this up? Well, it's the subject of the review. Ben 10 Omniverse, the video game, is actually made from Cartoon Network Interactive. Now, granted, before I started playing this game, I knew Cartoon Network had an interactive studio. I had just never played a game from them in any way, shape, or form. And I have to say, with a little help from D3 publisher and Namco Bandai, they've done essentially the impossible. Make a TV show based game that doesn't suck. And especially one for kids. Mind you, this is a kids game. This is not big boy stuff after all. Omniverse is a kids show. Just to give you a little bit of series slash game retrospect, the game is based on the fourth iteration of the Ben 10 television series, Omniverse, currently running on Cartoon Network Saturday mornings. In the show, you get to see young 16-year-old Ben Tennyson as he continues to save the world from all kinds of alien baddies, using the all-powerful Omnitrix, an alien watch that allows for thousands of different alien species to be accessed at a push of a button. Alongside with his new partner, an excellent yet very unaccustomed to Earth customs alien named Rook. The two of them are forced to take on all level of baddies. And the game pretty much picks up right from there. Seeing that you have two characters, it is a co-op game. Mind you, the co-op is only on the local level. No online stuff here. With the game, it is an action brawler, beat 'em up slash Now, the good. The series is very good. The game lives up to it. In fact, this is partially because of Cartoon Network's direct interaction. The animation is dead on straight from the show. Sure, they didn't get the musical tracks from the show, but that can be largely ignored because of budget, because they spent the rest of it on getting the exact voice talent from the show. And I mean exact. Even Tara Strong reprises her role as young Ben in this game, seeing that the plot of the game has you flipping between the timelines of young 10-year-old Ben and the 16-year-old Ben in an effort to chase the evil villain malware around the timelines and stop a little world domination. For fans of the series, the plot pretty much fits right in with the rest of the series. Although I wouldn't consider it a lost episode or anything, but it feels like a Ben 10 episode and practically acts like it with the one-liners galore, and trust me. For people of the older set, you might find the repeated cheapness of pun annoying between Ben's different alien transformations or when they defeat an enemy. And speaking of the aliens, there are 13 of them. Granted, that's not a lot, but fan favorites like Forearms, Accelerate, Diamond Head, Cannon Bolt, and even Eye Guy make an appearance here. But a lot of the alien space is dedicated to introducing those that are not familiar with the new series to some of the new aliens, like Blocks, Chalk Squatch, the cool Rasta dude, Feedback, and Aquaguana, as well as Wildvine, and Gravitax to round out the roster. Each alien has a different assortment of easy moves that can be easily accessed with the X and Y buttons for basic combos, but if you're using the powers, you hold down the right trigger. And props to level design, seeing that at certain points you'll have to access the different aliens to get through platforming sections or to solve easy kid-friendly puzzles. But largely this is a X-Men Legends style beat 'em up. See enemy, beat them to shreds, move on to the next section. But largely the story for fans of the series keeps people involved, and yes, it is a quickie. You only have to spend about 6 hours running through this, so it's great for a couple of days for a Redbox rental. Now in terms of the bad, and when I say bad, there is one glaring bad point in this game. Sure, the enemies in the game are kid-friendly, seeing that there is practically no AI to be found. There's a block and dodge button, but you'll hardly ever notice them around because you won't need them. Practically anybody of any age should have no problem going through this game at least once, if not twice, for achievement hunters. Which, by the way, if you don't walk away with 40 achievements like I did in the first playthrough of this game, you're not playing it right. But the biggest problem is, in fact, the camera. You see, the camera is pulled out, way out, and hardly ever zooms in. This makes it hard to notice simple things like platforms or places where you can fall off the stage and have to reset checkpoints, which in terms of checkpoints it is very friendly, but by and large you'll be battling with the camera on some of the larger platforming sections, and you might even get confused with some of the puzzles because of the zoomed out camera. Plus, this doesn't work well if it's an action game predicated on seeing the aliens strut their stuff. With the camera pulled so far back, it's hard to admire the animation and the accuracy to the series. All the major villains from the new series are in this game, which is a nice touch, and even a few classic villains from the original Ben 10 series make an appearance or are referenced to in this game. But by and large, if it weren't for the camera, this this game would be a breeze. And no, there's no camera control, but another positive is that the Omnitrix you can fully control with the D-pad and switch between 4 aliens at your leisure, as long as you've got charge in the Omnitrix. Which, yes, you do have to wait just a minute or two for the Omnitrix to recharge if you time out. But of course, there is the QuickTime events. Now, the QuickTime events are at the end of bosses, which are okay, and there are plenty of time between each button input for people to quickly move on to the next stage of the event. And if you end up not executing, you are not penalized that badly. You just have to get them back into the QuickTime event state and then repeat the process. All in all, this is an excellent kids game. As an overall game, in terms of how I judge TV show based games, I judge them on accuracy to the television show on high levels, and I judge them whether it's a good fundamental game. Older gamers will find this too easy to play and monotonous, but for the younger set, and especially Ben 10 fans, you guys should be honored that a game like this wound up on your lap. Sure, the game could have been longer, could have had more aliens in it, but by and large, the game totally executes what it's meant to do. Finally, a TV show based video game that understands it's a TV show based video game and nails the 100% feel of the series nearly perfect. That's why I'm at least giving the video game version of Ben 10 Oniverse a highly recommended for kids, mind you, 9 out of a possible 10. It's great for a quickie, and it also serves up a lot of good fan service. Until the next Kadic, live life by the code.